Have you ever wondered how the Sikh Empire, a relatively small regional power, managed to resist the mighty British Empire? Our story begins in the late 18th century, with the establishment of the Sikh Empire by Maharaja Ranjit Singh in 1799. Known as the Lion of Punjab, Ranjit Singh was a charismatic leader with a vision for a unified and strong Sikh empire. He was able to consolidate various Sikh factions into one cohesive political entity, paving the way for the rise of the Sikh Empire. Under Ranjit Singh's reign, the Sikh Empire saw significant military advancements. He modernized the army, drawing inspiration from European military strategies. The Maharaja's army was a force to be reckoned with. It was equipped with state-of-the-art weaponry and had a high level of discipline and training. This robust military not only defended the empire from external threats, but also helped in expanding its territories. Maharaja Ranjit Singh was not just a great military leader, but also a progressive administrator. He introduced administrative reforms that brought stability and prosperity to his realm. These reforms included a fair taxation system, promotion of trade and commerce, and the establishment of a secular administration where people of all faiths were treated equally. The Sikh Empire also had significant cultural impacts. Ranjit Singh promoted a culture of tolerance and pluralism. He respected all religions and worked towards the preservation of cultural heritage. His rule saw a flourishing of arts and literature, and his capital, Lahore, became a cultural hub. The Sikh Empire's rise was not just about military might or economic prosperity, it was also about the values it stood for: courage, justice, and respect for all. These values, coupled with the empire's military and administrative prowess, made the Sikh Empire a formidable force capable of resisting even the mighty British Empire. The Sikh Empire, under the leadership of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, had grown into a formidable force, ready to resist any external threats. Meanwhile, the British Empire was rapidly expanding its control over the Indian subcontinent. The British, a small island nation thousands of miles away, had managed to gain a formidable foothold in India, a feat achieved through a combination of strategic alliances, political maneuvering, and military might. One of the key strategies employed by the British was the doctrine of lapse. This policy allowed the British East India Company to annex any Indian state where the ruler was either deemed incompetent or died without a male heir. The doctrine was a masterstroke of British cunning, allowing them to systematically erode the power of Indian rulers, often without having to fire a single shot. But the British were not averse to the use of force when necessary. They waged several wars against Indian states that resisted their expansion. These included the Anglo-Maratha Wars, the Anglo-Mysore Wars, and many others. The British were often victorious thanks to their superior weaponry and military tactics. In addition to warfare and political machinations, the British also played the game of diplomacy to perfection. They signed treaties with various Indian rulers, promising protection and autonomy in return for allegiance. These treaties often heavily favored the British, allowing them to control vast territories while keeping the local rulers in nominal power. As the British Empire expanded its reach, Punjab, the heartland of the Sikh Empire, increasingly came under its gaze. The British presence in Punjab and the surrounding regions grew as they started to establish cantonments and administrative centers. The rich plains of Punjab, with their prosperous cities and fertile farmland, were a tantalizing prize for the British. But the Sikh Empire was not a pushover. It had a formidable army and a strong sense of identity, forged through years of struggle and resistance. The British knew that subjugating the Sikh Empire would not be easy, so they bided their time, waiting for the right moment to strike. The stage was set for an inevitable clash between the Sikh Empire and the British Empire. In 1845, the tension between the Sikh Empire and the British Empire erupted into the First Anglo-Sikh War. This was not a sudden flare-up, but the culmination of brewing unrest and power struggles. The seeds of the conflict were sown with the death of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the Lion of Punjab, in 1839. His death led to a power vacuum and a period of instability in the Sikh Empire. The British, ever watchful for opportunities to expand, saw this as a chance to assert their control over Punjab, the last region in India outside their dominion. The war officially began on December 11, 1845. when British forces crossed the Sutlej River, considered the border between the Sikh Empire and British-held India. The Sikhs, under the leadership of their generals, put up a fierce resistance, displaying exemplary bravery and military expertise. One of the most significant battles was the Battle of Firozeh Shah. Here, the Sikh forces, though outnumbered, fought valiantly against the British. The fortitude and courage of the Sikh soldiers were so remarkable that even their rivals, the British, couldn't help but admire their resolve. Yet, the war was not entirely in the Sikhs' favor. Despite their bravery and military prowess, they were ultimately defeated. This was largely due to internal conflicts and treachery within the Sikh leadership, which the British cleverly exploited. The Treaty of Lahore, signed in March 1846, marked the end of the First Anglo-Sikh War. It resulted in significant territorial and financial losses for the Sikh Empire. It also marked the beginning of British influence and control over the Sikh Empire. However, this was not the end of the Sikh resistance. The spirit of the Sikh Empire was far from broken. The bravery and courage they had shown in the battlefield against the mighty British Empire had earned them respect and admiration. It also sowed the seeds for future conflicts and resistance against British rule. Although the Sikh Empire lost the war, its resistance against the British Empire was far from over. 3 years after the First Anglo-Sikh War, the Sikh Empire once again challenged the British Empire in the Second Anglo-Sikh War. The Second Anglo-Sikh War, which took place from 1848 to 1849, marked another chapter in the Sikh Empire's resistance against British expansion. The causes of this war were multifaceted, rooted in political instability, territorial disputes, and the desire of the Sikhs to regain their sovereignty. In terms of major battles, the war was punctuated by a series of intense confrontations, the most notable of which were the Battle of Ramnagar, the Battle of Chilianwala, and the Battle of Gujarat. These battles were characterized by the Sikhs' valiant efforts against the well-equipped and organized British forces. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, the Sikh army fought with an unwavering spirit, a testament to their bravery and resilience. However, the outcome of the war was not in favor of the Sikh Empire. The British Empire, with its superior military technology and strategic advantage, ultimately claimed victory. The Battle of Gujarat, in particular, marked a turning point in the war. It was a decisive British victory that led to the surrender of the Sikh Empire and the annexation of Punjab into British India. Yet it's important to remember that the fall of the Sikh Empire was not an end in itself. Rather, it marked the beginning of a new phase in the history of the Sikhs. Their spirit of resistance did not diminish. Instead, it transformed into a more subtle but equally potent form of defiance against British rule. The Second Anglo-Sikh War serves as a poignant reminder of the Sikh Empire's resilience and determination. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, the Sikhs remained undeterred, their actions echoing the enduring spirit of resistance that defined their empire. With the end of the Second Anglo-Sikh War, the Sikh Empire officially fell under British control. But remember, the spirit of the Sikh Empire, the spirit of resistance, lived on, shaping the course of history in ways that continue to resonate today. Despite its fall, the Sikh Empire's resistance against the British Empire left a lasting legacy. This legacy did not merely vanish with the fall of the empire, but rather seeped into the fabric of Indian society, becoming part of its collective memory and a source of inspiration for subsequent freedom movements. The Sikh Empire's resistance was a beacon of courage and resilience. It sparked a spirit of rebellion that would ignite again and again in the heart of the Indian nation. In the decades that followed the fall of the Sikh Empire, this spirit would manifest in multiple uprisings and rebellions against British rule. These movements would ultimately culminate in the grand struggle for Indian independence in the first half of the 20th century. The echoes of the Sikh resistance reverberated throughout this struggle, reminding the people of their capacity to resist and their right to freedom. But the legacy of the Sikh Empire's resistance extends beyond historical events. It also lies in the hearts and minds of the Indian people. The Sikh soldiers and leaders who stood up against the British are still revered today. Their tales of bravery, sacrifice, and determination are passed down through generations, inspiring countless individuals. They are celebrated in literature, art, and popular culture, constantly reminding us of their indomitable spirit. In modern India, the Sikh community continues to embody the spirit of resistance that marked the Sikh Empire. They are known for their firm belief in justice, equality, and freedom, values that were at the core of their resistance against British expansion. And this spirit is not confined to the community alone. It permeates the broader Indian society, influencing its socio-political fabric and shaping its collective consciousness. The Sikh Empire may have fallen, but its spirit of resistance against British expansion continues to inspire and resonate in India's history. This legacy is not just a chapter in a history book. It is a living testament to the power of resistance, a testament that continues to echo in the hearts of the Indian people.